There are many different protective spells, but for everyday use, this is the most reliable. Its most famous use was in 1484 during a jousting tournament in the village of Poppleton, England. Poppleton was overlooked by a castle owned by the Earl of Paunchley. The Earl was a tyrannical bully who made the lives of the villagers miserable. He doled out dreadful punishments for the slightest misdeeds. Children caught eating an apple fallen from one of his trees would be beaten. Young women who did not curtsy low enough when he passed were forced into service at the castle. Men who complained or stood up to the Earl had been dragged away and never seen again. One day the Earl held a jousting tournament in the grounds of his castle, which was to be attended by... Who came to the tournament? Point at one of the tabs and hold... Yes, the tournament was to be attended by nobles from miles around. He let it be known that the whole village was to come and watch and cheer him on against the other competitors, and that no excuse would be accepted. An hour before the competition started, a young boy called Edmund Gaddlegate, whom the Earl had instructed to put up banners and pennants, fell out of a tall tree in the castle grounds and broke his leg. His mother sent word that Edmund would not be able to attend the competition and put him to bed. 4 burly servants of the Earl appeared at her door shortly afterwards and dragged her and her son up to the castle. Here, the Earl informed her that as punishment for her rudeness, she would watch while her son was tied to a... Heavens, what do you think's going to happen? That's right, her son was tied to a horse. And forced to compete against him and the various knights who had assembled to compete. However, when the other competitors saw that the Earl expected them to fight a small, injured boy, they left the tournament in disgust. Humiliated and furious, the cruel Earl announced that if nobody else would do it, he would fight Edmund himself. It was at this point that a witch in the crowd, one Hannah Cockleford, decided that the time had come to teach the Earl a lesson. As he galloped flat out towards the boy, with his spear pointing at Edmund's chest, she cast the strongest shield charm of her life between the Earl and Edmund. The Earl and his horse slammed into Hannah's invisible shield and were knocked backwards. The horse landed on the Earl, who was squashed flat inside his armour. For several glorious moments, the crowd believed that the Earl was dead. Their disappointment was great when he began to move again, but turned to joy almost at once when the Earl regained consciousness, and forever afterwards, he believed that he was... Here's the Earl's comeuppance. What do you think is the right word? He believed that he was a donkey called Hairy Cyril.